What's up, guys? This is Focus Motion here. I am doing a part 2 sweat session with BlackC55 on Age.com. He's playing at No Limit 10. And yeah, this is part 2, so let's get on with the show. Yeah, everything looks good. Kane bets out 240, over bets a pot. Looks like he's afraid of draws of some sort. And Jubin raises. Yeah. King 5. I think Jubin played that poorly. Kane tried to induce by overbetting the pot, make it look like he's just trying to buy the pot, which is kind of cool, I guess. He did have two pair there, so it worked out for him. What I would do though in this situation, after seeing what went down, I would write a note about Jubin's play. I would put that he is not capable of holding a strong pocket pair. So it just looks like he is very reluctant to do that. And so I'll put a note down there. So in the future, what you could do is if he raises pre-flop, you can call with suited connectors, pocket pairs, to try to trap and stack him in a sense. Yeah, so that looks kind of cool. Yeah, so that's cool, and that's good to know, good information. So yeah, sometimes when you're not in a hand, it's okay to observe the other hand that's going on. That you're not in the hand, that you just observe it, because it's critical sometimes. You get to get an idea of certain people's tendencies, and that's good. That's gonna help you in the long run. And you should be employing the note strategies too as well. Yeah, so you would definitely do that. We went over the whole concept of notes. Notes in regards to that they're symbols. So like there's a donkey symbol, which would stand for aggressive person, aggro donk. That's what I call it. Basically somebody that's aggressive to a fault. So like for example, if let's say Kane is too aggressive and you notice it's been really aggressive, then you can kind of pinpoint him as super aggressive and put him at aggro donk. If he's aggressive, not correct aggressive, but just aggressive to a fault, that's fine. Yeah, do that. And another symbol is a fish, which would mean passive fish, which would mean somebody that just calls your bets, that never raises, and never shows any aggression. So the opposite of an aggressive donkey or aggro donk. So yeah, so you put a fish symbol there. Let's see. Another thing would be to put excuse me, 1 second, let me do something here. Alright, yeah, another symbol would be there's a calling station symbol. So anybody that just, yeah, like a fish, he just calls. We want to put that down. The difference between a passive fish and a calling station is that a passive fish will fold a lot, I think, to your bets, and the calling station will just call your bets, So that's something that you want to kind of, differentiate between all that. Yeah, so that's cool in that sense. So yeah, so please employ those notes, options here, and that would definitely work in your favor. And let's see here. Jubin bet 13 cents. You raise min raise to 26 cents. He calls. Um, you check. You bet 51 cents. And he tanks. He folds. Okay. I'm gonna pause this video over here. I kind of think that maybe you have like a queen of some sort or two pair um, of some sort. The hand I put this guy on maybe like a 9-10 or maybe not even 9-10. Maybe like kind of interesting. Maybe put on some sort of 8. Maybe like a maybe even a two pair, but I don't know, like maybe 8-7, but that'd be kind of unreasonable. I think like maybe a 10-9 or something like that, and he wanted to see a river. But yeah, your min raising is okay. If you, it's just with min raising, and I'm assuming BlackC55 here had like 3 queens on the turn here, because min raising is such a strong move in a sense, because you're kind of saying, hey, I got a hand, but I don't want you to go anywhere. Just call my min raise, kind of deal. But in actuality, that's kind of exploitable, because like let's say you min raise a lot, and then like you only min raise when you have strong hands, then I'm just gonna avoid your min raises, And conversely, if you try to min raise at bluffs, I mean it's not gonna be as profitable because people can see past that. So like it becomes basically what I'm trying to say is min raises become transparent fairly quick. So be it that you're bluffing with the min raise or you have a strong hand with min raise, it becomes noticeable right away, or not right away, but like fairly soon. So what in this situation, if you have queens here, trip queens, and you're trying to protect against the flush draw, I would like you to bet more. Because let's say, for example, he does have the flush draw here, and he is capable of not folding. Then if you're gonna let him draw just two times, I mean just double what he bet, then of course he's gonna do that. He's gonna call, and then what happens when this ace of diamonds is ace of clubs, right? And I'm assuming you have trips. I don't think you have ace queen there, but just assuming that's the case, then how what are you gonna do, right? I mean, he bets out on you on the river, and then you're kind of stuck. You're like, do I raise for value? Do I just call? Or am I just beat that fold? Stuff like that. So, in a situation where you want to protect your hand, and also when you're trying to bluff, you definitely want to raise and keep it in that scenario, because min raising just kind of invites people to call with draws, and min raises also invite people to call your bluffs. So. Yeah, I'd like you to raise more. So on this turn, when he bets out here, I'd like you to raise like maybe 2.5 times or 3 times his bet. So for example, if you bet 30 cents, I'd like you to bet 90 cents or like 80 cents kind of deal. Not 60 cents, because that just kind of gives them okay odds to call. And vice versa. Let's say you're in this position and he's over here. You check to him, he bets out 30 cents. I would never want you to just raise to minimum 60 cents. I'd want you to even more so raise it bigger, because you're trying to negate you're out of position, right? So you kind of want to make it kind of a level playing field. So let's say, for example, you check, he bet 30 cents. Then I want you to raise, in this scenario, I want you to raise like 90 cents. Something really big, because it's just you're out of position. So on the river, basically what it is you don't want to see a river. I think in essence, you just don't want to see a river because you're out of position, right? Not unless you fill up, or you have whatever hand that's the nuts on the river. Then of course, you can value bet, donk out, but then you're never gonna like it to be out of position on the river in a big pot. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. We got about a little bit less than 5 minutes for the rest of the video, so let's continue on. But everything's looking good so far. Another thing I want to quickly point out, on these small blind scenarios, please do not complete too much, because you just throwing away half a blind. And I know that may seem insignificant, and you can be like, well, potentially I did invest 5 cents to win a whole stack. That is true in a sense, but I'm glad you folded. It's just not worth it. And not only that, but he's not a full stack anyway, so stuff you want to keep in mind. You want to be at a table with everybody kind of has a lot of chips in front of them, at least the maximum buy-in, which would, in this scenario, in your stakes, it would be $10. So when you table select to find the best table to sit down, and that's important to do if you want to move up in stakes and really build up your bankroll, you want to set up tables that have $10 or more, or the max buy-in at whatever level you're at. So, for example, if you're at no limit 100, which is a $100 buy-in, you want to be sitting at a table that, let's say everybody had $100 or more on that table. Yeah. And I know it sounds like I'm trying to keep on going back at it, but the 20 cent, this min raise, I would like to see you do min raise, like, or not min raise, but raise like to 25 cents or 27 cents. Min raise doesn't really help you do much. It doesn't achieve much. I mean, it just makes people call anything. So if you have aces in your min raise, that's just inviting them to crack your aces. If you have junk in your min raise, that's just inviting people to call to beat your junk. Or, you know, it just doesn't really solve much. And you got to make sure to keep your raises consistent. So if you're min raising with aces and you're raising really big, like 50 cents with like garbage, that's going to be easily noticeable fairly quick. So as a rule of thumb, I would like for you, BlackC55, to raise, if you're on no limit 10, like anywhere from like 25 cents, 27 cents, up to 30 cents, consistently. So just pick a number and stick with it. So raise with that number when you have aces, raise with that number when you have, you know, pocket fives, raise with that same number with 7-8 suited of clubs, you know, and vice versa. So please keep that consistent. The only time really you would ever keep that not consistent, if we're in a small blind here and he's a big blind and everybody folds to you guys, and you kind of want to take it down because you feel like, you know, you feel like the big blind folds often, so you just raise it like 4x, so you make it 40 cents, you know, and so he would have to call additional 30 cents. This is kind of interesting situation here. You bet 65 cents into this pot and take it down. Yeah, see, so it sounds like pretty much you're employing good strategy. Everybody's respecting your bets. Everybody's that, or they're just not hitting. But I think they just, for the most part, respect your bets, which is fine. This is okay. I think you complete here, and it's okay because there's an additional caller in the pot, in a sense. That doesn't give you the license to call any small blind. But you folded, that's fine too. So either folding and calling is perfectly fine. And the reason why I just say that only because somebody called, that gives you better pot odds to call. However, unfortunately, the person that's here is only at $4, so it's not really optimal for you to achieve. You know, by stacking, you only get half a buy-in, which you're looking for bigger buy-ins, right? Like this guy here, J21, and definitely Jubin 19 and 93. Yeah. And I think it would be important that you would definitely target Jubin because he has a big stack, and you can pretty much stack him because you have a bigger stack. So basically getting more pots with him, especially in position. I do not like this limp on the button. That just doesn't do anything. That just invites everybody to play, and then that decreases your chances of winning. Doesn't matter what you have. It just decreases your chance of winning in general. The more people in the pot, you know, the less likely you're going to win. So next time, especially against people that are limped, and then you're on the button, please raise. The rule of thumb when you raise against limpers is you add a big blind after how many limpers. So, for example, this situation, it was 2 limpers. So you add 20 cents to your raise. So if you raise it to 25 cents, you make it 45 cents. You know what I mean? That make any sense? So, for example, only one person limped, and so then you make it 35 cents. And if nobody limped, then you raise on the button is 25 cents. Yeah. So yeah, I'll clarify that more in the video. I gotta go. This is a video. Focus Motion. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. And make it a great day. Peace.